See, the turnips are coming up. I think it's coming up pretty good. Yellow bug, you see, kill it.
Yeah. I basically strung that one while it was still on the vine there.
Sometimes that happens when you pull them off and they string as you go.
I didn't mean to, but hey, save a little bit of work later. Not a bad thing. That one did it too. I do love green beans. Oh, we gotta do something with our kefir water today.
Yeah, we do. Could mix it with some of our blueberries. Did she tell you how she actually mixed it
No.
together?
I'm sure we could find a recipe though. That would be at least give us an idea of about how much to use.
And then I wonder after you mix it, do you let it sit a while?
I don't know.
Or can you drink it right then?
I'm not sure, but like I said, I bet we can find... I know there's a lot of videos on YouTube because I was looking for them. But one of them was Mary's Nest. I really liked her, and she was talking about it. I don't remember the specifics. I'd have to go back and watch, but... I'm excited. It was so good when we had it at Miss Varola's, and it's really good for you too. Only thing with the kefir water is those grains you gotta, I think, like keep going every 24 hours. So
we can try it again.
it'll take some. I mean, I just mean if you wait too long, you gotta start over.
Well, I think today's the way it's tried it. We'll try anyway.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're fine now while they're in water, but
Oh, you mean if you...
yeah, I just mean like if once you strain them out, you can't just let them sit there for 6 months and then do it again.
Yeah. But we could drain them out and then put them more and more sugar water.
Yeah, and just keep the cycle going over and over.
That watermelon that was too soft when I bought it,
Yeah.
I froze that too, so we could use. I made it into liquid and froze it, so we could use that. Might have watermelon blueberry.
That would be good. I wanna.
If we've got any limes or lemon.
I don't know. She did add lime and it was good.
And some grapes in there too.
Oh yeah. I wanna like learn how to. I don't know if I can put this in a way that it makes sense, but like sometimes I'll have potatoes that are going bad and me and Austin just can't eat them all, or fruit or whatever it is, and I want to figure out a way to like preserve that. With fruit it's easy, you can just kind of get the juice off of it, or you can freeze it. A lot of it you can freeze,
Yeah,
but
you can freeze your potatoes.
I mean I guess you could technically even freeze the carrots.
Yeah. Good.
I just don't want stuff to waste,
I've heard some people say they put kind of their leftovers, they freeze them like that, even if they have like 2 or 3 carrots or whatever, and then they like kind of know that what they've got in there, and then on a day that they want to make soup, they pull all that out, even the leftover like mashed potatoes or whatever, and kind of mix it all together for a soup.
I think that's a good idea. I just feel bad if I waste stuff. I mean, it wastes perfectly good food and it wastes money, so.
Yeah, that's true.
This won't be the last time we pick with it.
I don't think so.
So if I see some that could grow more.
Yeah. Still thought that idea of getting a lime, but where did you say they could get it?
garden.
The garden's done over cabbage and also done that he planted potatoes like he always does. I did 3 potatoes and not 1 potato. It makes 1 potato not bad. And he said he's going to what makes people come in and make a farm and use the land and stuff. And that's something I don't know, but it was taking it. So we're out early this morning picking beans. Already got most of them picked. We're on the home stretch. We've just got this last row to go. Other than our bush beans, we'll have to check on them and see if any of them have made any beans since the last time we picked. It's nice to have Corey with us today. Katie's here too. She's inside finishing up on something, and she's going to come out and help. But it's always great when they're here to help us because we enjoy being with them, but also just because many hands make light work. So that's always a joy. Austin's had to travel for work, so he's not at home. So the Corey come over with Olive and is staying with us this weekend, and Katie's here, and it's just us 4. So it's been really nice just to kind of be like the old times, like the old days before Corey was married. Once we get the beans picked, we're also going to, and I need to harvest, I know I've got okra, I see tomatoes right behind the camera that need to be picked. And I hope to, or there's no choice in the one dreaded chore we have to do. We've got to tear out the cabbage today. I'm just already set myself up to know that we'll tear back all that and there'll be no cabbage inside. That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see. And then I would also like to go ahead and maybe tear out one other bed of tomatoes to plant some kale. I want to plant some kale somewhere today, so I hope to get that done. In the last week, one of my friends, my dear friends, she gave me a whole bunch of grow bags, all different sizes, some long, like kind of shallow, flat ones. I've never had any like that before. She's used them all. They've all been used. Well, one or two of them look new, but most of them's been used, but she just didn't care for them. And so she said I could have them, and I can't wait to use some of them. I'm already wondering, I've thought about putting kale in some of them and kind of setting them out in the backyard. I've also thought some of those low ones, I wonder how my strawberries would do. If you have strawberry plants, they're constantly making more plants, little baby plants that come off of them. And I've been trying this summer, my one green stalk is filled completely, and then the other green stalk I bought strawberries and put in it, but most of them died, so I've been kind of taking the babies from the established one and putting them in that one. But now I'm thinking about those flat longer grow bags that I might start some strawberries in those too.
Color?
Yeah. Do you think it's just time? So as we've been picking them this morning, I've been looking for those little yellow bugs that I've been fighting, and I found 2, and I killed them all, killed both of them. And then I asked Corey and Matt, and they've not seen one. So the neem oil and the lime, I don't know which worked. I put neem oil on them, and then the week before that I put the diatomaceous earth and the lime mixture. Sorry, Corey. So it must have worked because they're not here. Although our beans are looking kind of getting brown around the edges, and I asked Matt if he thought that maybe the stuff I put on them hurt them. I did do the neem oil late in the evening like you're supposed to keep it from burning them. And I mixed it with water, of course, and done all that. But Matt said, no, it's just time. It's August. So I guess he's right. It's just time for them to die back. But it is good news that I only found 2 of the little small yellow bugs. So we ended up with about, whoops, sorry, Matt. We ended up with a 5-gallon bucket. Matt's saying he remembers the days when we'd do one row and get a 5-gallon bucket off each row instead of just one bucket combined. That's still pretty good though, 5-gallon bucket. That'll be at least maybe 2 runs of canning and maybe some left over to eat.
Great big one over here.
Uh-oh.
Some coming on there though, and some coming on there.
Good. Those are
It's
the,
slow somehow now.
I know, those are the ones I replanted over there. They look pretty good. These two don't, but. The weeds didn't get in there last year because it was in this part of the garden up here.
Oh.
And the reason we put it down here, remember, is because the EMC was going to go straight through our garden and we would have had to uncover it, but then they didn't even go through the garden.
Well, dadgone.
But by that time, it was already planted. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but this is, I mean, just go ahead and be prepared for the gigantic disappointment that this is going to be.
I know.
I don't know, it might not be.
I think it's going to be a gigantic disappointment and we're all going to share in it together.
I love disappointment. We can all be disappointed in this.
Right
I think
here.
that it's gonna be. There's gonna be some. It may not be great, but I don't think it'll be a lost cause.
I think it's a lost cause.
I think it's
but
already a lost positive. cause. Am I the only positive
person
Yep.
here?
I don't know how to be.
I
Well,
think
look,
it's a lost cause.
here's the problem. What I ain't seen a whole lot of cabbage. I'm just seeing a little bit right there, but I think
Oh, your daddy's doing it.
that is done on it. Look, we grew weeds and they're beautiful. Who paid big money for butterfly wings? It looks like I could just sit down on that. Would I go through it? Well, I don't know, Corey. What do you think? Yeah.
One little cabbage.
It's a baby cabbage.
There's some big ones right up in yonder.
No, I'm not seeing nothing. You don't know what you're doing, Dad. You need me.
We need a bucket for the chickens, Katie. This
Okay.
can go to the chickens. That's never really made a head on that one.
For chicken bucket. Ooh,
That's like a little bitty head.
Oh.
Put that in our bucket to save, I guess.
This is brought to you by Cabbage. Instead of this is brought to you by Savage, this is brought to you by Cabbage.
Yeah. It's not really.
Look at here, that bucket's broken, split, and all that, but it's all I could find.
See if you see any more.
What's that? That smells like, I don't know.
It's just a weed.
I mean, you got one or two right there, but
You got a whole lot of weeds.
Nice.
what?
Yeah, I noticed that's happening to those too. Ow!
You alright?
Get on a briar? No, it popped up and hit me.
I got something in my shoe. Lord, I hate that. Man, I hate that, There just ain't much to this cabbage, y'all. It's sad.
Is that one at the front? I was
Yeah.
hoping those were the best.
I know.
What'd you do with that little bitty one I give you?
I put it in the down there.
What we're gonna
In
have
this,
to do,
oh, I thought you meant in this wood thing.
what we're gonna have to do
Yeah.
is ground mat on the ground. Plant
Yeah.
cabbages and then put this over it. We gotta do it in some ground that ain't crap like this.
Well, if you remember though, doing it up there, we had no problem. But this is so close to my flowers that you can see they're blooming.
I got something in my shoe and I just cannot stand it. That's a woman. This cabbage, get out of there, see. cheap. Is this a cabbage? Would have been.
That's a kohlrabi.
Is it? Do you eat this part of it, or did it not grow?
The chickens, just give it to the chickens.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Well, it was a fear that I knew was going to come true, probably. There's one. Ah, that one's actually pretty good. Ooh.
One good cabbage
Compared
for nothing
to the
else.
others, it's not as impressive as the ones we did last year.
Now, y'all did some good ones last year.
Ooh.
Get you two there.
I have to have just sprung up.
Well, they're straight. When you pull them out of the ground, they're in a U and they spring straight.
Yeah.
Well, we grew a good crop of weeds.
Any medicinal weeds in there?
There's another kohlrabi.
Calababi.
That one might be. We might use that one.
Smells good over here. Smells like earth and dirt. I like it. I smell onions. You are an onion.
Oh, please.
You ain't nothing but an onion. You look like an onion. You smell like an onion.
Please. There's a little carrot.
Carrot,
Aw,
baby. We got baby carrot. That's very sweet.
Well, we need to pick all these weeds up.
I'll get here and weed it.
Oh, I'm just got to get that up. What's that? No, I don't want to touch. It don't look right, does it? No. It looks like something out of the upside down. Mama's got one too.
What's this?
Oh, no, never seen that before.
I don't know.
Somebody's gonna comment on this one too. Right. What else am I gonna do now?
Well,
Get the
Katie,
weedy
sing us a song about it. Disappointment.
Oh, we did not grow no cabbage. We won't grow none next year. We're already over it. Who cares? We'll just eat some deer. That was a good song, Katie.
That was pretty good. There's a little kohlrabi.
Calababi.
You will like that one.
That must be something like that. Oh, who cares? I'll put my foot in this bucket. I'll put my foot over here. I'll put my foot in this bucket, and then we'll still go and eat some deer.
Well,
Something stinks.
it's the
rotted
moisture,
rot in
yeah.
there. It smelled good just a minute ago. Yeah, and it went from good to stink real quick.
Stink.
We did our time.
Well, very poor cabbage for sure. We knew it was going to be. So, like Matt said, lessons learned. Hopefully next year we can put it back up there, but if we put it down here, we need to put down a barrier before we plant it.
But that's okay. You just tried something different. It didn't work, and that's all right.
Well, we tried something different. Oh, I see those little surprise lilies. I've got them. I've noticed them several places today. They just come up overnight. So there's some right there.
Right.
But we were forced to put it down here because of our internet situation. So,
Mama means the internet situation. They was going to dig a line over there
Yeah.
in the ground and disturb it, and they thought they'd have to uncover it.
right, and then they ended up not going that way. They come up the road, so it didn't matter. But by that time, we already had
It's
the
too late.
cabbage planted. Yeah,
They
Mama,
owe us some
red ones
cabbages.
are
Surprise
Yeah.
lilies. I love those things. They're so sweet.
yeah, they're pretty.
I like them.
Well, at least that's the disappointment's been faced, and now can be over with. Yeah.
I'm going to go journal about it and cry about it. I already journaled and cried.
You already cried and journaled?
What's your solution, Dad?
My solution is after supper, we will get in the truck and drive around and find somebody's garden that their cabbage did make good,
steal
and then
their-
we'll get theirs.
Steal their cabbage. You can't
And we'll
steal.
still have cabbage, and we didn't even have to grow it. That's
Hey, that's a
Everybody wins.
win-win.
No. Think how disappointed they'd
I
be.
know. Oh, we know. We just sounded funny, Mama. I'm not the stealing kind. I ain't the dealing or the
I
stealing.
do see a really beautiful cantaloupe right down there, Katie. Go get that.
I saw that. Cantaloupe.
I can't help it. That's a nice one.
Catch
All
it
right.
in your head, Katie.
I guess we're in Dad's way. You want to take that and feed it to the chickens, Katie?
Feed that to the chickens, Slade.
We're still getting silver slicers, and they are so good. And this cucumber is so prolific for us. They look kind of funny because they're, you know, kind of pale compared to the regular green cucumbers, but they taste the same. And they've been so prolific for us last year and this year. Just basically, you've got to pick them every day, which is wonderful if you like cucumbers like we do.
Cuckoos.
There's a little butternut back here, and here's a little melon that's died back, a yellow melon. Uh-oh, it's got some damage there. I'll take it in and cut it and see. I'm not sure it got big enough to actually be any good. So here you can see I've got laid out all the grow bags my friend gave me. I'm really excited about these that are like, kind of, you can see that shape. I've never had any like that before. I laid them out here to kind of clean them out, and I plan to use some of them so that they'd be ready for me to put some dirt in. So most all of our little Minnesota midgets back here, they're done. We've eaten them all. They were really good. Shared some with Miss Cindy and Granny. And now what's left is my sugar babies, and I'm anxious to eat them. There's lots of them, some bigger than others, some of them still really small, but they're always usually really, really sweet. And then we have some little Tommy toes still down here growing, even though my hands are filthy.
You know what I ordered? Popsicles.
Yes,
I
popsicles,
looked
please.
down and I saw the biggest ant I've ever seen in my entire life on my leg, and it was red, and he was about to have a snack. Oh, I'm sorry. And I said, not today.
Tastes just like a real coconut, not like suntan lotion.
Why does some coconut taste like suntan lotion?
That's what Daddy thinks this does.
Let me smell it. It smells like suntan lotion.
Tastes like real coconut.
Let me smell your popsicle. That smells like real grapes. And it smells like real peaches. And Corey's popsicle party smells like crap and dirt. Whatever. I love anything coconut. Me too. I mean, that didn't come out right. I don't like coconut. I meant to say I like everything peach. You don't even know what you're saying. That's
Sun's-
true.
We're late today with our popsicle break. Now we're sitting in the sun.
Well, popsicles will keep us cool. Guys, it's going to take me 80 years to eat mine. My teeth are so sensitive. Mom will just bite that off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I did that. Dad does that too. I'm like, what are you guys, superhuman?
We are superhuman.
I can't do that. It hurts my teeth too bad. Hurt your teeth, Cappy? Mm-hmm. At least I'm not alone in my pain.
We're so old that we have no feelings or no nerves in our teeth. We're like an old horse, and we can't feel it. We could probably crunch diamonds and it wouldn't hurt.
That's funny.
That's the way it is when you get old.
You need to have your teeth floated, Dad, like a horse.
Yeah.
What's that mean again? What do they do to him? File them all down the same size.
File them.
Why? Because that's what horses eat. They don't eat stuff like we need. We got these here dog-looking teeth because we eat meat. Incisors? Wait, what do you call them? Maybe 4.
It is cooler today.
Yeah, it is.
Less humid.
Less humid.
And you know what I saw in the driveway?
What?
Anybody guess? An acorn. Yep.
A rock.
I've seen green acorns. When I see those falling in the driveway, I says to myself, summer's leaving and I'm sad. But then I says to myself, it's Christmas coming. Then I says to myself, I reckon I have no control over the weather, so I just have to be happy with what comes and what doesn't come. You know what I'm gonna get this winter? For real though?
What?
Y'all gonna laugh at me. I'm getting wool underwear. Austin has a pair and says they're really nice, so I'd like to get some of those too, but Long Johns are real underwear. Do you think they make real wool underwear? Oh yeah, no, I've seen it before. What I'm talking about is real wool underwear, not long underwear. But anyways, I'm gonna get all of a sweater. Oh my lord,
And she will eat it.
She gets so cold though, like when
You don't get cold, she's a dog.
no, listen, when we first got her back in February and I would have to put her in the car to bring her over here, she'd just shake and be so cold, and I thought, that's so sad, I need to get her a little sweater. I don't think it's because she was cold, I think she's either nervous, but I can also tell you something too, that she has more fat now because she was a baby then, so she's okay. I can get a bigger sweater.
She will eat it.
She wears her halter. Look, do the sweater,
And
but
she
whatever
tries
you
to
do.
eat it.
Yeah, she does eat it, but whatever you do, don't put shoes on your dog. I won't do that, I promise.
And don't let her drive.
Have you ever seen that picture of was it about the moonshiners, how they were hiding it? It was,
In a dog sweater?
no, a man wore cow shoes, I guess, to make it look like it was a
I saw
cow.
that. Oh my gosh. They didn't want their tracks to be left in the mud and they were crossing a cattle field or whatever, and so he put,
It's on Andy Griffith.
he had,
Oh, okay.
that was, so he had shoes made to look like a cow. And Andy started saying, wait a minute, cows don't behave like this, and he caught on to him. That reminds me of a book I read where these people robbed a jewelry store, and they come in with dogs, and they had little pockets sewn in the dogs' collars, and that's where they put the diamonds. And then when they left the store, the police had already been called. They just went out onto the sidewalk, real chill, like just walking their dog, and no one did expect them because and then these old people found the diamonds and done all kinds of cool things with them. It's called the League of Pensioners. It's about a bunch of old people breaking bad.
Oh, God.
Heck, it's a good book. If you want to read something about funny characters breaking bad, you should read some of Carl Hyacин's books. There's this character named Skink who's a one-eyed swamp man. He's pretty funny.
Is that crows I hear?
No.
What is
That
it?
is a pileated woodpecker.
Where's he
He was
at?
in a bad mood because he's sick of eating wood. He'd like to eat something else. We'll give him a popsicle.
He ain't eating wood. He's pecking the wood to eat bugs under the wood.
Well, that also probably gets pretty old. I bet he has a headache too. They got a strong beak.
Remember we had one for a long time beating on our porch thing? It was just like it'd wake you up or it startle you if you were during the day.
What did it do
It
that?
would land on like the
Like the
porch
porch
post.
post.
and it would just be
Didn't
perched on the
it?
side of it, and it would just machine gun the post, and you could hear it all through the house.
Yeah.
It never found a worm there though. I bet it didn't.
We did it for a long time though.
Yeah.
When was that?
Y'all were little.
Yeah, it was 20 years ago.
I probably don't remember.
When
I'm
we
getting
first
old,
moved
Katie.
in, I was afraid it'd wake y'all up because it'd be like a over and over and over.
Like a jackhammer.
Yeah, when you was taking your naps. Don't you wish somebody made you take a nap now?
Oh man, that was great. It's so funny when you're a kid. One time I had to substitute teach for a pre-K class, and thank goodness they have to have the rule for pre-Ks. There has to be 2 teachers. But one of them was gone, so I was helping the lady who was left there, which is funny. She also had a set of twins. They were little, and those kids, when it was nap time, and there was also a set of twins in the pre-K class. And some of them were real good. They'd just lay down, curl up, and out. But there was one little girl, fiery red-headed, who would not nap. And in fact, not only would she not nap, the whole entire nap time she stared at me. And I don't think she blinked once. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit scared of that little girl. She was cute, but I was a little bit afraid. And then the twins would fall asleep and then they'd wake up and look at each other across the room. But it's just like, so funny, when I was that age, I'm like, we didn't want to nap, we hated it, it's just like kids do not want to go to sleep, and now I'm like, dang,
It'd be
only
nice
wish
for
I had
somebody
like,
to make me take a nap, wouldn't it?
I know,
Go
and they
take a
fought
nap,
it
it's
so
nap
hard.
time.
I
Did you know
know.
I got through out of kindergarten?
For not napping?
No, for streaking.
For streaking during nap time?
True story.
That's funny.
They called, I guess it was Mama made her come get me.
Why'd you wait till everybody was good and asleep and then run around streaking?
Yeah, it was nap time. Everybody had to bring their little towels to nap on. And I jumped up and pulled all my clothes off and ran around the room and yelled and woke everybody up.
It's so funny.
And I got in trouble and they called Mama and made her come get me.
That is funny.
So I got through out of kindergarten.
It's funny, but also sad that they made you nap on just a towel on the They give us floor.
They
These thin mats.
put us on the floor with just a bath towel.
This kid with a big head.
We call him Chaka.
Yeah, this kid with a big head. He was actually probably a pretty nice kid. Took my nap spot under the pinball machine. And I don't know why we had a pinball machine in kindergarten, but we did. And I wanted to sleep under it, which it's like at this point I'm thinking, why would I have slept under something that could fall and hurt me? But I used to get so mad, and I would tell the teacher, he took my nap spot, and she'd be like, well, I don't really care. You can just lay down and all of you can just go to sleep and shut up. And I'd buy my nap spot. You know what I remember about kindergarten? 3 things. First thing is I stole a bunch of stickers and I got in trouble. There was a treasure box, and if you did good, it had little stickers in it, and they were just trying to, teach you good behaviors. And I was like, I just want all the stickers. So I stole them. And then I also remember that we had a pet hamster.
Oh my goodness.
Or something. That was in Miss Reeves' class. And then I also remember I was sick one time, and it was recess, and Miss Reeves, there was a couch in there right by the door to go out on the playground, and she set me down on the couch and gave me some Coke. And you couldn't do that now, but it settled my stomach.
Miss Reeves was the best.
Oh, yeah, she was. Hey, Miss Worley, no, she wasn't Miss Worley then. She was Miss Nichols.
Miss Nichols.
Which is so funny, because Davis Gentry called her Miss Pennies instead of Miss Nichols. He was cute.
Yeah.
And then I had her again when she was Miss Worley for 3rd grade. I liked her.
She's the Miss Worley, but Miss Nichols, like you said then, and Miss Reeves is who, when I took you to, I had to take you to, sign you up for kindergarten because you didn't go to pre-K. And it was both of them, and they did like this little interview. And Corey was sitting in my lap, and Katie was sitting beside me. And the whole time, Katie was like, Mom, let's go. I don't want to be here. Let's go.
Even that early on, I hated school and it didn't even start.
And then you thought that Uncle Paul would be there. She was like, I want to go see Uncle Paul. Please, let's go. And I was so embarrassed. But then the worst thing was, then Miss Reeves, I think it was, asked me, said, I don't remember how she said it. Like,
does Corey make faces?
Does Corey have problems with her eyes or something? And I said, no. Well, see, I couldn't see Corey because she was sitting in my lap, so she was looking. So Pap had taught them to make this face. Can you still make it?
I can't.
Yeah, it's like with your eyes crossed and your, yeah. And he thought it was funny, and they'd make it at people. So Corey was making that face at Miss Reeves the whole time. At the teacher. Yeah, I was so embarrassed. I cried. I come home and called Matt crying and called Daddy, called Pap.
Everyone thinks our kids are losers.
It's like they were horrible. Katie was begging the whole time to leave, and Corey was making cross-eyed faces at the teacher. It was terrible. It's funny now, but at the time I was thinking it was going to be, y'all are going to be marked for bad kids. But Miss Reeves ended up telling me about Corey.
Still out on that.
That Corey was the kind of kid that made her become a teacher.
Oh, that's so sweet. They never said that about me because I was bad.
You're the kind of kid that made them want to retire.
That's probably, to be honest, pretty accurate.
No, Miss Nichols.
Well,
Miss Worley.
If Miss Worley remembers,
I think she liked you too.
If she remembers when she was Miss Nichols, one time school was over, and you either got on the bus or waited for the parent pickup line. And she had to run, which you can't do this now either, but you could then. She said, stay. I was the only one left in that room for whatever reason. She was like, stay right here. And all she had to do was literally run 2 steps across the hall. She said, you just stay right here. And she said, whatever you do, don't go out that door because you could get hit by cars in the parent pickup line. I said, I won't go out there. Well, she left, and I just moseyed on over to the door. And I was just not going to go at it. I was just looking. I was like, I just look out the door. Just give me something to do. And I saw the biggest, fattest, longest caterpillar I ever saw. And I opened that door and picked up that caterpillar, and the door shut and it locked behind me, and I had to knock to get back in. And there I was standing there, and she was like looking at me on this side of the door. I was like, let me in. I didn't go nowhere near the cars. I mean, and she knew I wouldn't. It was just probably a liability thing.
Yeah, she was pretty.
I loved her.
Yeah.
You know, she's still teaching.
Is she? Wow.
Yeah, I saw her not that, well, I mean, I don't know now, but that was a few years ago when I did the summer program down at the elementary school in town, and I saw her down there, and you know what? She hadn't aged one day. She
Well, Miss Reeves was my first grade teacher, and then she was Corey's kindergarten teacher, which was neat.
I loved that woman. I loved Lord, Debbie Letford, and all of them. I loved them all. Oh, they're so sweet. I miss everybody.
Actually, Miss Reeves, thinking about gardening and being outside, she gave Corey, and I've got a picture of it somewhere if I could find it, give Corey sunflower, or give everybody, not just Corey, but sunflower seeds, and then we planted them. Our yard was totally different then, but they got really tall, and somewhere I have a picture with Corey like beside them, and then I remember that summer we seen Miss Reeves in town somewhere grocery shopping, and Corey got to tell her that her sunflowers had grown. Yeah,
That's sweet.
It's back when we had the Dirty Diaper Trail.
Dirty Diaper Trail days.
And before we had our yard graded, when me and Matt first were married, we thought, well, we don't need a yard, you know, inexperienced, not thinking about gardening, and sure not thinking about kids needing a place to play. So then Corey and Katie was about what? I don't know. 5 or something?
No, we were older than that. Probably
Older
like
than that.
8.
8, 9, 10, something like that, when we had our yard regraded and had more room for a swing set and for riding bicycles and all that. But before that, it kind of, the yard was what, ended about right here?
No, it went all the way up to the,
Yeah.
over there. I mean,
Yeah, like this was not here.
Yeah, this was not
This
here.
was woods. Anyway, but it did slant down into come around the basement, and we had a fence there. And then there was a trail where we'd go back and forth around that fence, and that's what one of y'all named it, the Dirty Diaper Trail.
We called it that.
So that was the Dirty Diaper Trail. Yeah, I don't know why, just because you thought that was funny.
That's
who?
it was him.
Oh, it was you?
Well,
Why'd
and then
you
we
name
had-
it that, just to be funny?
Just to be funny with them, because I knew they'd think it was
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, we tee-hee-heed about it. And then we had our zip line. It wasn't really a zip line, I mean, but we did, one time Dad did make a Barbie zip line, and we could zip line our Barbies down, and that was fun. But we had like this little trail. I mean, the bank was just like right here. I mean, over there would be like right up on the edge of the house, and it was kind of steep. And there was kind of a little trail that went up through there and up through the woods, and the bank was kind of just, the ground was kind of patted down. And one time I remember Dad's like, you want to climb the bank? And we were like, yeah, but of course we couldn't. And so he tied a rope to us and then tied the other end of the rope to a tree up there. And we were just kind of like swinging around on the rope, and we were little and playing. And Mom come home and she was like, what the heck?
What are y'all doing?
Why'd you tie a rope to the kids and tie the other end to a tree?
We were at the top of the bank when your mama come up the driveway, you remember, and she was just like horrified.
She was, because I mean, I'm not going to lie, it was really like, really steep for a kid, but I felt, I mean,
It was fun.
We were tied up. I mean, dude, we were perfectly safe, and even if you fail, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Some scraped knees. I loved it. I was like, woohoo!
And it teaches you confidence at an early age.
It does, yeah. I mean, and I thought,
And that's why I done it.
I'm like, I can do this. And now every time I climb a bank, that's what I think of, but not when I go to the bank. I just think I need more money when I go there. I don't have a lot of confidence when I go to the bank. No, just climbing a bank is good for me now.
So at least today we did finally get our cabbage tore out to find out the disappointment that was waiting on us. We kind of knew what we were going to find. But it was kind of our fault and then kind of not our fault because of the internet. But like Matt said, if we ever plant cabbage down there again, we definitely need to put down a barrier before we plant. Every year though in your garden you have some kind of disappointment, whether it's bugs taking over or maybe the tomatoes didn't do as good. But this year definitely it was our cabbage, right? For sure. Bad cabbage.
That's about the only thing that didn't make.
Yeah,
The
everything
pumpkins
else
didn't
was
make.
real. Yeah, the pumpkins. I do have 2 pumpkins about that big. We'll see if they actually get to grow till cold weather.
Everything else did really well.
But
though.
everything else did really well.
I can
Yeah.
crochet you some pumpkins. Will that work?
Yeah, but I don't know how they'd taste at Thanksgiving.
I would like some pumpies. Oh, that's the
Yeah.
way they taste.
When Corey and Katie was little, they called them pumpies.
Pumpies.
Pumpies. But it's been a good garden year. and it ain't over. My tomatoes that Matt didn't have faith in have really grown. They're really getting tall. And then our cucumbers and our beans that we replanted are, I mean, they're growing, so hopefully they'll start blooming and start producing. It's been nice today, though, to have both girls with us. Lots of laughing, lots of silliness. Kind of like the old times. There's never been a dull moment in our house because of Corey and Katie, which was sweet. I mean, in a good way. I mean that in a good way. So it's been kind of nice to have family time.
Like the good old days.
Yeah. Of course, we see each other all the time. It's not that we don't, but it's just odd for it just to be us four. Like last weekend, Corey was here, but Katie wasn't here. And then maybe the previous weekend, Katie was here, but Corey wasn't here. So it's odd for it to be all of us together.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
just us.
No boys allowed.
No boys allowed. So
boys.
That's been very nice. So we hope that you enjoyed seeing what we were doing today in the garden. And as always, we hope you drop back by often and help us celebrate Appalachia. One other thing, though, we are going to do today is I'm going to plant kale somewhere. And then we're going to go to Corey's house and try to plant her fall garden too. So we've got those things to do later in the day. But please do drop back by often to help us celebrate Appalachia.